Hello, I'm Val Cuthbert. I'm going to show you how I prepare lino for printing. These are the things I need: a piece of lino, an image, a piece of tracing paper and a pen. So I take the lino and the image. I need to tape that down at one end so it doesn't move off the lino. I use tissue paper that I have drawn on the back with charcoal as my tracing paper. Slide it under in here and then I can start tracing. You do need to check that you are making a line on the lino. So now I can take this off and that off. Once the lino is ready to cut, then you've got some options. I like to start cutting with a fairly fine blade. I think this is number 1. Or you could be using something like this. However, some people like to use a cutting board when they're working. The cutting board has a piece under here that goes on your table edge, and then you cut into that over there, which keeps your hands safe. So to start with, I'm going to cut one of these lines. Take a bit and then another bit. Now you'll see how I'm holding this with that in the palm of my hand and my index finger in that little bowl. That gives you control over the way that you're cutting. Always cut away from yourself, and if it scoots like that, it's okay, just cut round it. To cut these circles, you put the blade straight up and down and just turn the lino. Don't move the blade and then it just pops out. For most of these fine lines I'm using a number 1 just to finish it off. For these thicker lines I used a number 2 blade, but to complete I go right round the outside now with a number 10 because I'm going to cut this out. So the next step for me is to just go right around the outside, making quite a wide cut that I'm going to use scissors for. The next stage, you need a pair of really sharp scissors and a steady hand to cut all the way through that outer line, cutting right the way around the outside of it. And you may need to start in different places. Okay, I've finished cutting around the outside, so I have all these bits which you can keep for some other project. In places I've been a little bit rough with the scissors, so I do go around next with the number 10 and just make sure that that's a little bit smoother. Take off all of those rough bits there, cut right up to the edge and make sure there's nothing poking out there, because when we come to print they will print and you don't want them to do that. These are the things I need to print. I need a roller or brayer. I have a sheet of glass. I'm going to put some printing ink out on that. I need some printing paper and I need a blade so I can smooth the ink. So I'll just put a little bit out. I'm using blue today. Just work that a little bit. And I'm going to roll into that. Here's the lino. Now you'll see it's the reverse of the drawing that I originally had. So I'm going to, plenty of ink on this already, I'm just going to start running it across the lino and you can see what it's going to look like now. little bit more ink. Make sure everything's covered. They say roll 3 times. And I'm ready to print. So I have my piece of lino all inked up. And my piece of printing paper. Now you'll see I have the press set up for lino. I have a runner here and a runner here. I'm going to put this on top to give it a little bit more depth, a little bit more pressure, and I have a lid on top. Let's have a look. Take off the lid and the sandwich. Let's see what we've got. Ah, there's our fish. I'm going to see if I can print how you at home might have to print. Ink it up first. Lots of ink. I know lots of you have not got a press at home, so this is how some people can print. Printing paper on top. Oh, I have to come over here and use a rolling pin. Try not to move the print underneath, I think that would be the problem. Roll it, pressing as hard as you can. I'm going to have a look before I move it, and I could probably press it again. Might be an idea if you had someone to help you keep everything still, because I think that's moving. Now there's a print. I think it'd be a lot easier if you had someone to help you. This is the original. As you can see, I'm not that good at it. However, I'm going to have another go. This time I'm going to ink up well. And this time I'm going to try a spoon. Piece of paper, and I can hold the paper, and this time use the back of the spoon, rubbing all over. I can feel that through the paper. I'll do that end of it and have a look. See how that's going. Much better, much more successful. I'll just keep going. Good idea of where it's been. So let's have a look at that. Bit more at the end. And there. And there's our examples. So you can print at home with a spoon. But I've also done some other crazy fish. And birds. These have been cut singly and then printed as a group. The same with the fantails and with the godwits. I did a whole series of small New Zealand black robins, and I'd like to finish with this combination of lino prints, hand colouring, and with dry point prints.